everyone. Welcome to yet another session on personality development, the course on soft skills and interpersonal communication. With me, Waheeda, Assistant Professor at the Institute of Aeronautical Engineering, Dundigal, Hyderabad. In the previous two videos, we have discussed about personality development, its definition, what it is all about, what is personality, what is the scope of personality development. How is it going to pay an individual if his or her personality is individually is made over? I mean, if the person has worked on the personality development aspects of his personality. So we even talked about some personality traits and personality disorders also. In this video, we are going to throw some light on communication and personality development and other aspects or tips that what are the ways one can develop his personality, how to look towards our own personality types and work on that, and all about the actual personality development at the grassroots level and also at the organizational level as well. But in a workplace, how an individual has to behave uh, with his developed personality, how to be a leader, how to maintain leadership qualities and building the team, maintaining the team, and all these, and what traits of that individual help in keeping up this the criteria will be talked about in detail in this particular video. So let's get started. We'll start with communication and personality development. So we have even talked about it refers to an individual's characteristic. I told you in the earlier videos also that it is an amalgamation of the incidents or situations that have happened in your life from the childhood, the memories that have accumulated one after the other, that the learning that has happened in you, the surroundings that in which you have spent your life, the kind of teachings that you got from your parents, your guardians, and your teachers, what kind of virtues were inculcated in your personality, how it was worked towards for a better personality altogether from within and outside. I always tell my students it has to happen it is a two-way process actually. It is not that your heart and your mind is not clean and there is no development in it, and only the outer development is worked on, like the way that you dress, the way that you behave in front of others. That is not going to work for a longer period of time. It will not take you to a long journey, but a development has to happen from within. I also gave you the example of weeding out. Weed, these the shrubs or the plants that grow around which are unwanted. So weeding out the things that are not necessary in our personality, or something that is not good in our behavior, or something that is not good in our nature. So weeding is very much necessary for us to develop a main hardcore personality, which is going to prove better for everyone, for the self development of the same the individual as well as for the people who are surrounded by him. It refers to an individual's characteristic, what it is that person has separate or away, that is taking him away from the others. What is his style, his behavior, what kind of a mindset does he have, his attitude towards things that are coming his way, his unique way of perceiving things. I told you how sometimes it might look it is 6 from my side and it is 9 from your side, it might be, and how it is he is or she is looking at seeing the world through his or her own eyes. And genetic factors, I told you 39% of the person's genes are taken um, I mean inherited by the um, person from his or her parents. And current situations, what is the situation in which that person is, how emotionally intelligent he or she is to behave in, how he or she behaves in that particular situation, given a task, how coolly or how perfectly he or she manages that criteria, whether the task has been done in a proper manner or not, how he or she is doing it plays a very significant role. The current situations, like if the person comes from a very poor background, and that person has been given a lot of money suddenly, so what is the changes that you see in his or her behavior suddenly? And if a person is coming from a very rich background, and suddenly he or she goes bankrupt, what kind of an emotion does that person show? All these signify the personality. The way you behave with others also reflects your personality. An individual with a personality, pleasing personality, is appreciated and respected by all. We all know that. How you show yourself, how you are behaving yourself, is all talked about you. It becomes a signature of your personality. Your behavior becomes a signature of your personality. Then effective communication plays a significant role on your personality, because everyone is not a good speaker or an effective communicator. How a person has put forth his efforts in communicating his or her thoughts to the other person depends a lot on the personality development. Communication helps an individual to express themselves in the most convincing manner, whether they are having the convincing abilities, negotiation skills are there or not. How the thoughts and feelings and the knowledge that one possessed has passed on the most desirable manner, and the way effective communication help you in the same way. A person should speak really well to make a mark of his or her own. That's why, remember, no one would take you seriously if you do not master the art of expressing yourself clearly and the most convincing manner. Usually, when when you meet somebody, the way that they talk to you is the first impression that you have with them is going to decide um, whether that friendship or that relationship is going to last forever or not. It is because how they have expressed themselves depends, or the decision depends on that. Okay, how effectively they have expressed their opinion, their expression, their feelings to the other person seriously decides whether that person can be um, taken for granted, or can be taken seriously, or just they can be not so seriously. Okay, then they are not, as I told you, they are, everyone is not all people are blessed with excellent communication skills. uh, they acquire the same with time and practice. One can do that practice, and as it is a skill, one can practice on that and develop on it. People with great communication skills tend to have a better and impressive personality. The way that you talk, as I told you, than the person that you have problem in communicating, interacting with others is not a challenge for them. Individuals with effective communication skills can easily converse with other people around, be it their fellow workers, peers, family, and so on. It is, if a person has that ability, if the person has worked on communication as a skill, has learned some do's and don'ts of communication, it will work as a development of that personality. And then if they are able to do that, converse with others in a proper manner which is convincing and also understandable by the other person, then you can be liked by the people around, not only in your workplace by your fellow workers, your bosses, but also from in your peers, and it will also be having that person will have a good rapport or good connections with the family members, neighbors, and relatives as well. So working on the communication skills is very important for personality development. Actually, as I told you before also, that it is an all round development from outer and also um, inner development. That is how you talk to anyone makes a lot of difference. It strengthens the bond among individuals. Effective communication. It is said to improve the interpersonal relationship with others. How you have a relationship with other will decide as to how you will communicate. Are you able to express your feelings in an impressive manner or not? The careful selection of words. I gave you another example on also before that. Some people's words can uh, make their heart soar in the sky, and make some people's words make a soar in the heart of others. So the selection of words, that it should not be hurting anybody, they should not be sarcastic comments or something that hurts. The double meaning, double standard words should not be used so that people get hurt. It should not pierce their heart. A careful selection of words is very important in effective communication. You really need to know what you are speaking. It is not that you first speak and then think about it. First, think it twice, then speak out what you want to do. That you will never know what might hurt the other person. Never think of being rude to anyone. Also, be very polite, very humble. Whenever you open your mouth, it should be like flowers coming out of it. Like it should impress others. I gave another example of, there are two kinds of people in this world. They spread happiness wherever they go, and the other type is that they spread happiness whenever they go. So you should be having that habit, like wherever you go, you should spread happiness with your words, with your kind of knowledge that you impart, the kind of information that you give to others. So what you have to do, you have to speak convincingly so that the other person understands you, what you intend to communicate. Your style of speaking has must have a tremendous impact on your personality. Speaking slowly always helps, as it allows you to find appropriate words and also reflect thoughtfulness. Emphasize important and relevant words for the other person to realize the importance. Okay, speaking confidently is the key to an impressive and great personality. Do not show signs of nervousness while interacting with others. Do not show shyness. There is no point of being nervous unless and until you yourself are not sure of what you are speaking. Okay, develop proper eye contact with the other person. Do not look around while you are speaking or interacting with the other person. This we have discussed in detail about how to communicate, how to listen to anybody, and what are the responsibilities of a sender and a receiver in communication skills. In the video by me, so you can refer to that, about what are the rules of speaking and listening, what are the prerequisites, what are the responsibilities of the sender and the receiver, how they have to impart the message, how to give the message so that convincingly and in a very clear manner, so that the other person understands it very easily. And also about the pronunciation, that you pronounce the words. If you are not very sure of how to pronounce a particular word, avoid the same in your speech until and unless you learn it from in Google. You have, at the click of a button now, you have the different types of pronunciations each word has, depending upon the country that you are talking in that way. You really don't need to speak in fake accent. I told you this before also, that avoid copying others. You have a signature style standard of your own. Do not play with words. Never try to fool anyone. Okay. And it is important to be a good and patient listener for effective communication skills. Otherwise, whether the other person is listening to you or not, allow the other person to speak as well in cases of queries and confusions. Mm, I also told you about listening 75% and speaking 25%. And take care of your body language, non-verbal communication. I told you more than 65% of your communication is happening in non-verbal cues, and other 35% is, along with non-verbal communication, you are using the language paralanguage. Okay. Along with the written word or spoken word, speech as verbal communication using the language, only 35% of it is happening along with the non-verbal communication, because you are making some kind of gestures, you have facial expressions, emotion is depicted, you smile, you frown, and all sorts of movements are happening on your face when you're there. Movement of the hand, body movement of the shoulders, and movement of the head, eye blinking of the eyes. Okay. And your standing postures, sitting posture, all of these things depend on the way that your emotions are happening, and how there is synchronization of your emotional intelligence along with your body language, how they are syncing with each other, whether there is a collaboration or the mind is somewhere else and your actions speak differently. This also depends on the development of the personality. So here we are going to throw some light on the tips for personality development. What is it that you have to do to, first make space for the things that you want to learn. So what you have to do is leave your comfort zone where you think it is comfortable for me, and I don't need any uh, work or any extra efforts from my side. Then you are in your comfort zone, and in that comfort zone it is very difficult for you to learn and unlearn certain things. So first of all, that what you should do is come out of your comfort zone, come out of your shell and explore the world. A comfort zone is limiting, it has certain limitations. Staying in the comfort zone will make one miss out on the opportunity to try new things, because that person is reluctant to come out of that shell, to explore, to take up the risks. So there are very less chances in the closed zone to experience such kind of risk. So you need to meet new people, go out, leave your comforts of the house and go out and meet people, explore the world, have conversation with people so that you acquire knowledge. It is said that if you read a travel book for 1 month and you travel the same time along with somebody, you learn a lot. Okay. So the same time spent in learning and reading a book will make a lot of difference in the way that you learn things. And make every day count. It is important that you work on your time management, plan your time management strategy and make it stronger day by day. Begin your days right. Even morning, take time out to read something inspirational. So I told you this also before, that if you are really interested in doing, then you make time for it. Right now, if you take the priority, if I thought that it is important for me to make a video on this particular topic, that is why I am making it. So I have prioritized it. So if I think that if this is important, then I do it. If you do not regard it something as important, then you will never take it up. Huh? It will decide whether how important you are. People say that I'm just having 24 hours in my time, and I cannot do certain many things. But it is it is not so. If you are interested, you can make time, utilize that time which you are whiling away, or you're not utilizing the utmost of it. So it is important that you make important decisions, prioritize your time, and work accordingly. Challenge yourself from time to time whether I can do this or do that. If I'm not able to do that, work on that. If I have done something and you are happy about it, treat yourself, reward yourself for the thing that you have done, and keep on working, making uh, timetables, and try to adhere to that. Try to work or try to stick to the timetable that you have mapped out for the whole day. For make long term plans, on also short term plans. We have a separate video on time management. For detail, you can go and refer to that, listen to the video, watch the video on time management. Okay. Define your area of excellence. You might be doing good at one field or one segment of your life. Define what you want to excel and develop relevant skill sets. Maximize your time, energy, and resources to achieve the desired result. Say you want to be a video jockey, so work on that. If you want to be a sports personality, so work on that. If you want to be an effective communicator, you want to be an inspirational or motivational speaker, you want to excel in talk in TEDx, work on that. There is nothing like it. And if you thought that you are able to do that, you will be able to do that. Then sky is the limit for you. And then being optimistic plays a very important role. If, that a person might think a glass is half full or a glass is half empty. You need to see the water and be optimistic towards it. Okay. Think of utilizing how to quench your thirst with that half glass water, rather than thinking that that I have only half glass of water and the other half is empty, by uh, getting more thirsty and being very pessimistic about the situation. Evaluate yourself. It is very important. They are popular at work. You may wonder what their magic formula is for being constantly appreciated by their superiors. It's not magic. They simply focus on following tips for personality development, such as seeking feedback, correcting mistakes, helping people, and solving problems. If one does this, everyone will be liking you. You will be famous in wherever you go. Like correcting mistakes. If you come to know that there is any mistake in you, there is a vice in you, there is certain a bad thing, I wouldn't categorize it as that. But if you recognize that this is not a good thing that I am doing, when you have come to know it, it is time that you work on uh, removing it from your list of the things that you do. If it is a habit, try to eliminate it from your daily routine whenever you do. And seeking feedback, and it is not that you are looking for always positive feedback. Okay, for positive feedback will help in boosting your confidence, but negative feedback will help you eliminate your vices that are there, the mistakes that are there in if you find out what kind personality trait that you belong to, it will become easy for you to work on that. That's how, if you are a helping person, You will be liked by your superiors, your friends, your family members, everybody. And problem solving, realizing the problem, finding the problem and working on its solution. Problem solving tactics you must have. And self evaluation at regular intervals. So far, where should I place myself? How successful I have been in the task that I have taken. It's self evaluation, whether I am able to stand the test of time, that from time in, from time intervals. And evaluate your skills and areas of improvement. Last year, same time, where I was, how much of this skill I had mastered, and how much development I have seen in this 1 year period, so that you can evaluate yourself. Is your public speaking effective? Are you able to put across your thoughts effectively to others? Are your confidence levels high? Have they improved from last year to this year or not? Is your behavior become pleasant and cooperative or not? Are you being helpful to others? It is not being selfish, like refusing to help others will always have a very negative impression about you in your friends, in your family members. Always be ready to help others. And then start observing yourself. Make notes as to, this is the good thing that you have done, this is the not so good thing that I have done, so I have to get over this kind of a feeling. And identify the qualities that you need to acquire to be a good person. How much of the good personality traits that you must possess? What are they? First, you need to recognize what they are and how to incorporate them in your personality. Then, network. Personality development is the network. It has been made much easier by interactive and intelligent social media. I told you, meeting new people, helping in many ways. And then reading a lot. This will give you a lot of information about what is happening around the world. And then improving your body language, the way that you stand, the way that you look, working on your self or your body from head to toe. uh, I mean, how your hair look, what kind of a hairstyle that you want, which would suit my personality. Okay, if I want to go in a formal situation, how do I appear according to my, my workplace? If like I am a uh, person who is doing official jobs, I need to go in my formal dress. But if according to my profession, my look as a professor is different. But if I would have been um, of some other profession, maybe a film actress, or a person who is doing dramas, my way of dressing would be different. So I have to find out like which profession I am there, and I have to follow the rules and regulation, the dress code of that particular profession that I am holding. That is very much important. And the way that you dress, I mean, you cannot be doing this being the same person. Going in formal means, if I like formal, it is not that I visit the beaches also in my formal dress. No. So you need to find out what to wear, where to wear, and how to wear. Having the right kind of body language is also an important part of your personality development. It helps people perceive you perceive you in a better light. Ensure you are standing in a proper upright position. Eye contact is there while speaking. Okay, all these things we dealt in detail. Building your personal brand and giving your brand a vision is also a very important personal growth and professional success. Smile a lot, think positive, dress sensibly, be soft spoken, and leave your ego behind. I told you this. Avoid backbiting. People have this habit of speaking in at the back of others, and criticizing them, even if it is correct that those people are having those vices with them, the bad qualities, never speak about that. Okay. Criticizing people about their negative traits and work against in an individual's personality. Help others. Always be ready in your capacity, whatever is in your capacity. Learn to help others. Be a patient listener. 75% of listening and 25% of talk. I mean, don't stick to, I mean, thinking that, okay, where I have to speak also only I have done my 25% and stayed away. It means that listen more and talk less. Okay. Then here we have certain tips as to how to develop the personality. Uh, this we talked about what are the attributes, personality traits, those inherent social cues and combination of abilities that we are having. Developing these skills, showing initiative, self confidence, problem solving, communication, and adaptability. We did this. How to show initiative? Like, mm, the thought that I want to develop my personality is that taking initiative, finding and taking that self confidence that I'll be able to do that is a initiative towards improving your personality. Okay, you have assessed yourself, the kind of trait that you belong to, in which category you belong to, what are the areas that I have to develop my personality. And then problem solving. If there are any problems that you have found out, you are trying to solve them. What are you doing? You are communicating, taking a feedback from others and trying to uh, adapt to that change that you are taking. Face your fears. If you might be having some kind of fears in you, confront your fears head on and remember that all fears are learned. I told you that a child is not afraid of swimming, but he or she develops it through time, because of the people's other people's feeding them the fear that if you jump in the water you might get drowned. So that fears are developed, you need to face them. Self discipline, you can turn things around. For example, if you are shy, take the time to introduce yourself to new people, pay attention to group dynamics, and ask people follow up questions in conversations. Also, learn certain new things along with improving other things. So learn new things. Learning new skills or educating yourself on a topic can improve your personality development skills. Whether it is online webinars, reading books, signing up for a course, or taking up a hobby. In doing so, your mind and perception will change, helping to build your skills. It is evident that you need to learn something. Keep on learning something new. Do not be stagnant in learning. Okay, how you can do it? You can find a mentor apart from taking up the webinars, seminars and all. If you need a little direction, don't be afraid to ask someone you trust to provide some helping tips in building your self development. Then if you are curious, you be curious. If you want to know certain new things, you will try to find it out, whether it is asking your manager how they go to where they are, or asking a friend to expand on a topic or concept you don't understand. Always strive to learn more. You be in the surrounding, you be surrounded by learned educated people. You will learn a lot just by being with them and being observing them and absorbing whatever they talk, whatever however they behave. If you keep on observing, you will learn a lot. And then reflect. The only way to build upon your personal skill is to become self-aware, and one of the best ways to do is to reflect at the end of each day, like what I have done, what decisions have proved uh, decisions and conversations to help you identify your strengths, limitations, and opportunities for progression. Then, your personality at your workplace, how it is going to affect. It plays a crucial role in enhancing one personality. It helps an individual develop a positive or attitude and look at the brighter sides of life. And it how an individual behaves at the workplace depends on her personality. It helps in polishing, grooming individuals and makes them better and efficient resources for an organization. If your personality is developed, you have worked on its all-round development, you can prove as an asset to your organization. And then personality development classes at workplace extract the best out of individuals and encourage them to deliver their level best. Stress sometimes makes us forget ourselves. Individuals, after a tiring day at work, sometimes even forget to smile. Personality development classes bring that smile back to an individual's life. It encourages one to put his her best foot forward and strive hard to perform beyond expectations. Personality development encourages an individual to use his skills and abilities to the maximum. And then we have individual with a pleasing personality is liked and respected by all. Meeting new people also will help a lot. Place to exude confidence and positive attitude at workplace. Then personality development teaches you to stay calm and composed even in stressful situations. Like if someone has a bad day at home or while coming on the road, excessive traffic, or someone has met with an accident, that person should have that calm, that development in the personality, that whatever he or she has experienced uh, while starting the day should not reflect on the behavior that he or she shows at the workplace. That person should have that emotional development to segregate that part from this part. It should not, one thing should not be carried forward to the other situation. There should not be any baggage. Okay, how composed and calm that you behave even in stressful situation talks a lot about it. Never overreact, don't get offended, or no, don't show offense to others. Avoid finding fault in others. Okay, if you there is a old saying, isn't it? If you point one finger to others, the other three are pointing to us. So try to forego other people's faults. Learn to be a little flexible and broad minded. Like if your horizons are broad, you look farther. Your short sightedness will not affect the opinion that you are making about other person. If your personality is developed, it differentiates you from others who come to office, fight with fellow workers, and are often under stress and find work monotonous. That life will become very difficult if this kind of behavior is carried forward. Okay, then we have the personality traits of a manager, how a manager of a company or an organization should behave. It is not does not mean sitting in a closed cabin and passing on instructions to your team members. It is not that. Being a leader means of a person who shows how to do things rather than orders how to do things. Do not forget that respect is something which is always earned, never demanded. If you are behaving in such a manner that you need to demand your respect from your subordinates or your colleagues, then it is not respect at all. Which is always adopting a Hitler approach will not only make you unpopular among your team members but also an unwanted member within the organization. That you will never want to, isn't it? No one will tolerate your bossy nature for a long time. People will get bugged and you might lose very efficient people if you show bossiness all the time. One of the most important roles of a manager is to take his team along and motivate the team members to deliver their level best. Your role is to extract the best out of your employees and also help them hone their skills and abilities. Then make your team members feel that you are there with them always. It is they need to have that feeling that they can count on you, that you are ready to help them at any point of time that they request for. So extend your support whenever, wherever required. A good manager is one who smiles even at the times of stress, as I told you before. A manager is ought to be like a protective cushion who absorbs all the stress and tension and never passes on to his team members. Encourage your team members to smile quite often, and it is not only reduces stress among team members but also leads to a positive ambience at the workplace. Remember, you have to be a role model to your team members. A manager is successful only when he or she is a strong source of inspiration for his team members. A manager needs to carry himself well. Whatever you wear daily to work, your team members would automatically start following your style. The one needs to be honest and fully committed towards the organization to expect loyalty from team members. Then never be rude to anybody, to your team members. Do not treat your employees as your slaves. Okay, appreciate employees if they perform exceptionally well, and pat on their back with will give a long way will go a long way in motivating them to perform even better. Reach office on time. If you want your employees to reach on time, it is you who has to take the initiative first. I told you, leaving your behind ego behind. Ego and super ego, these are the subconscious parts of our mind. Ego, that do not feed on it. You need to be flexible in your behavior, in your approach towards others, and you have to be realistic about it. Respect your team members. A role of personality development in reducing stress and conflict. If your personality is developed, the process of enhancing one's personality refers to personality development. An impressive personality helps an individual to make a mark of his or her own and also stand apart from the crowd. Flashing your smile, $1 trillion smile, and also who have to work hard to earn their bread and butter are often under stress. So never crib over petty issues, like rather than learn to fight tough times with courage and a smile. Negative people always have a negative answer for every situation. Try to look at the brighter side of life. Do not spread unnecessary rumors about anyone, be it your manager, fellow workers, or anyone else within the system. Like conflicts arise when people backstab each other and spread baseless stories. Difference of opinions can happen in any situation. How to come to conclusion, how to come on common grounds and make your work run smoothly is the role of a developed personality. As I told you before, avoid criticizing other. Conflict also rises when individuals carry their ego. Learn to be a good human being. Personality enhancement, personality development from within and also outer appearance. To work on your body, how you look is equally important. How you are feeling from within. And then you have the development not only develop and enhances your outer self but also your inner self. Okay, with this we come to an end of the session.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.